Universal is releasing yet another Jurassic World movie next year, so time to make a brief video about the unnecessary sequel trilogy. When many people think about the downfall of a beloved franchise, they normally think about Star Wars, Star Trek, Alien, Doctor Who, or Predator. Most people don't mention Jurassic Park. Despite the trilogy's critical failings, it's clear based on the box office that there is still a craving for live-action dinosaur films. Like Jesus, Jurassic World Dominion is god-awful and it still has a 77 audience score rating, which is the reason Rebirth is happening in the first place. All three Jurassic World movies cracked $1 billion, something The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 failed to do together. But why is that? Nostalgia was the main big factor for Jurassic World's success in 2015. It was a soulless remake disguised as a continuation of the franchise. The Force Awakens! And would you look at that, it was a success! But lazily copying the original will only get you so far before you have to make something new that's interesting and thought-provoking for the audience, which is an allergy Hollywood has acquired over the past 20 years. Hollywood has decided to tell the audience what they should think. I can make a whole video on how newer entertainment has taken on a tell and don't show approach, which is kryptonite to character work and destroys people's immersion. Audiences want their characters to act like real people instead of propaganda puppets. But much like Disney, Universal wasn't going to put much actual effort into making quality scripts with fleshed out characters. I hate to say it, but when no other big name studio is releasing big budget live action dinosaur films, it is really easy to see why this worked out so well for Universal. No competition breeds laziness and incompetency, and that is the whole Jurassic World trilogy and really the dinosaur film genre as a whole. Just chucking a bunch of bland new characters on screen running from CGI dinosaurs. That'll work. Shit, it worked on me. Jurassic World Dominion, despite being double the budget of the original Jurassic Park, made $54 million less than Jurassic Park, which definitely shows the dip in enthusiasm, especially after Fallen Kingdom, which was god-awful. Fallen Kingdom had the advantage of being the sequel to Jurassic World, which, despite not being a good movie, entertained people. Jurassic World is definitely the best of the World trilogy, but that's like being the best Stuart Little movie. Yeah, Stuart Little was a thing. Wait, there were 2 more of those? Don't mistake me taking such a massive dump on Fallen Kingdom to mean Dominion is good. It's not. But Universal learned what not to do from watching Disney. Treat your OG characters with respect, which Dominion actually does for the most part, even though this kind of hurt the movie as well, as Universal was so worried about making sure they don't ruin their original characters that they forgot to give the 3 original characters an actual arc to go on, so they feel tacked on and unnecessary, even though Alan and Ellie play a pretty big role in the plot, but their characters have no real transformation.
But Rev, Alan and Ellie get back together in the end. That was their arc. Universal is writing the ship at Jurassic Park 3 wrong.
Good lord. As much as I dislike a lot of decisions made in Jurassic Park 3, Alan and Ellie being separated isn't even on the list. The issue is they didn't flesh out why Alan and Ellie split up. The Lost World is the only sequel I give any validity to, and I have many problems with it as well. I will be making videos on each individual movie to give my thoughts on these points in detail, but for now I'll just say this. I grew up with and loved the Jurassic Park trilogy, for the most part.
Alan!
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 Alan! And I want Jurassic World Rebirth to be good, but the last 3 films have showed me that Universal doesn't understand what made the first film so good, so my hopes aren't that high. Every YouTuber on the internet wanted a piece of the Dominion high back when it released, all making the same joke referencing Malcolm's quote. that Universal was so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should, which is 100% true, and people were using it to no end to point out Universal's clear hypocrisy. The line from the film is a line condensed and repurposed from Crichton's novel.
Scientists are actually preoccupied with accomplishment, so they are focused on whether they can do something. They never stop to ask if they should do something.
It's a great quote, but my favorite quote from Malcolm is actually from the opening prologue from The Lost World. And to be honest, it really resonates with the problems of today, so I'll be ending this video with it.
Human beings never think for themselves. They find it too uncomfortable. For the most part, members of our species simply repeat what they are told and become upset if they are exposed to any different view. The characteristic human trait is not awareness, but conformity. And the characteristic result is religious warfare. Other animals fight for territory or food, but uniquely in the animal kingdom, human beings fight for their beliefs. The reason is that beliefs guide behavior, which has evolutionary importance among human beings. But at a time when our behavior may well lead us to extinction, I see no reason to assume we have any awareness at all. We are stubborn, self-destructive conformists. Any other view of our species is just a self-congratulatory delusion.
You're welcome for that really long black pill quote. Anyways, it's been a minute, guys, and you're probably wondering what's been going on. Well, with the Rings of Power, it has mainly been apathy, but episode 5 is currently in development still. I'll eventually release my videos for the rest of the season of that abomination, but making the long-form TV reviews is time-consuming, especially when you're trying to get past the YouTube copyright gods. So I'm going to try out these shorter videos and see where they go. I'm Riff, and I want to pose a question. If other studios were making live-action dinosaur films to compete against them, do you think that the Jurassic World trilogy would have been as successful as it was? Because I really don't think it would have.